Alright, welcome everyone to round 2. We will go ahead and play first. And, I mean, it's not bad. I have 3 2-drops, of course 2 Gutter Skulks. Have to open up with at least 2 Gutter Skulks. I mean, I'm going to need to draw a land eventually, but I have 2 Gutter Skulks, a Syndic of Tithes, a Smite, so even if I don't draw land, here, it should be okay. So let's get on out there. I will play the Syndic of Tithes first. Yeah, then I can play a Gutter Skulk and extort it next turn. If there were some sort of removal, of course I'd rather keep the Syndic alive than the Gutter Skulk, but that's okay. Actually, I guess this is probably a bad decision. This is probably a Shamble Shark. Well, it very well may be walking into a Shamble Shark here, in which case I should have played the Gutter Skulk first and extorted. But I think that I want to be aggressive anyway, so I'll walk into it in case it's there. And it's not there. That's good. I felt kind of stupid for a second there. Speaking of feeling a little stupid, I did remember between round 1 and round 2 that Merciless Eviction actually only requires 1 plane and 1 swamp, not double planes. So when I was saying that in game 1, clearly I was mistaken. Or round 1, it may not have been game 1. So here I'm going to swing with both of them. And I have options. But what I'm going to do is probably play the Syndicate Enforcer. He'll probably need to keep this guy back. I mean, the bad thing, of course, is if he evolves him, then it kind of shuts down my whole ground force. I could play a Gutter Skulk and a Screecher. That's another option, and just have a ton of guys on the board. But again, if he evolves this, I'm just kind of stuck. So I think I'd rather play the Syndicate Enforcer, and then I can play 1 and double extort if I need to, and still do something. As I was saying during the draft portion, the Crocodile is just good. I mean, whatever he plays now is going to evolve this guy. He's going to be 2/4, and my ground game is going to be pretty much not super strong. But that... Alright, well, like I said, Gutter Skulk. Somewhere in here there's a hidden text of play 3 Gutter Skulk, draw 3 Gutter Skulk. I'm going to swing with everybody. If he's got a Shamble Shark here, it's pretty bad for me. I mean, he'll evolve this to 2/4, probably kill this guy. I mean, I guess I still get in for a few damage, but that's what I'm going to do anyway. If he had the Shamble Shark, he might have already played it to kill the Syndic of Tithes early, unless he just drew it. Doesn't look like he has it, otherwise he'd probably snap it out there pretty hurriedly and double trade with 1, probably. Alright, so that's good for sure. Here I'm thinking, I mean, we did see an Aetherize out there for sure, so I don't know if swinging with 5 guys is going to be what we want to do. I could play a Gutter Skulk and double extort it, and I think that is what I'm going to do. I double extort, puts him at 8. I can play next turn double extort, put him at 8. Actually, maybe I'm going to play the Screecher. If he evolves this guy, I can't attack, but if he evolves that guy, I'm already kind of stuck not attacking. And at that point, I'd rather have all my extort guys out there. I could quadruple extort or triple extort. So this might be a game where Extort gets me there after dealing some damage. And if he doesn't find a way to evolve this guy this turn, he might be missing red, possibly, or he must have just drawn that? Must have just drawn that, otherwise he would have played it. Alright, that's a really good card. Not really amazing right now. I mean, he can pump this guy, obviously making him 3/5. So he'll block here, probably take 3 in the air, or take 3. Then I lose this guy, play this guy, double extort. I'm not sure if that's what I want to do. Again, a Shamble Shark, pretty terrible for me any way you can draw it up, but I mean, the question is, do you want to let the Frilled Oculus hold you down when I mean, the Guardian of the Gateless is going to be good regardless of when I play it, so I think I am going to just attack with everyone. I mean, he could double block or something like a Syndic of Ties, but I don't think he wants to do that. He almost certainly is going to block here and pump his guy, making him 3/5. So I think that's okay, though. I mean, he's at 8, so I think I'm willing to let my guy die there to get in for the damage. I mean, he could double block the Screecher also, and I don't. He doesn't deal any damage; he just dies. But then I get in for 4. I mean, that seems fine. Like I said, I'm basically trading this guy for an extra 2 points of damage, which may or may not be a good idea, but I'm gonna Gutter Skulk double extort, putting him at 4, and then next turn probably do the same thing. I mean, I could also just play the extra Gutter Skulk, but I mean, if I get through again for another 2, which is a pretty big if, because you can play really anything, but I only need to deal 4 points of damage here. So, alright, so now the brakes are going to be applied. And I just have to play Gutter Skulk, double extort. Ooh, that's good. I mean, they still hold me back. I mean, he can't get through, he can't get through, he can't get through, he can't get through. So the Grizzly Spectacle right now is not really going to do anything for me. So I'm going to play the Gutter Skulk, I'm going to double extort it, and then if I want to, next turn I can attack, smite my own guy, and double extort it, and that'll probably do it. Probably win the game with him at 2 and me at 27. I'm in no rush here. I'm definitely not swinging here. There's no reason to. I mean, I lose all my guys and maybe kill a Krasis. Like, that's not good. Especially where if he doesn't play a guy, it looks like I can swing all the way in anyway. Alright, well there's the Ooze Flux I was talking about, where you can start putting guys into play. And the thing is, you remove 1 or more from creatures you control to put a creature into play. So for 2 mana, he can pull off 2. That makes his guy a 1/3, and his guy, or it makes his guy a 1/3, and his guy a 1/2, and then the new guy is a 2/2, so it evolves them both again, pretty much back to where they were, plus he gets a free 2/2. So that card is very good. I mean, it's just really good. Frontline Medic, also very good. So the question is, in fact, I think I just want to attack with the Gutter Skulk, attack with 1 Gutter Skulk. I think attack with 2 Gutter Skulks, smite my own guy, double extort, and not show the Frontline Medic, I think is the plan. That might be a bad decision, but I think it's fine. Not only do I think it's fine, it's what I'm doing. So I mean, he could have the card where you gain life equal to your creature's power and toughness, but I'm not that worried about that. Pretty sure I just win here. Alright, so there you go. There's game one. We saw some flying guys. His deck didn't seem fast, so I mean, against the slow deck, maybe this is fine, but I really don't think... I didn't see any removal. Not that there's a lot of removal in a Simic deck. Like I said, I really don't have a sideboard. I could run a Nav Squad Commandos, but it doesn't seem like his deck... I mean, to be fair, his Croconura does put a pretty big damper on my guys, so I really have to get in early. Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with what I have. I mean, this guy might be good, I guess, against his big guys, but we're just going to run it back. Alright, probably heard my dog barking there. Me and my girlfriend have dogs, and they are loud and often annoying, but I do quite like my dogs. They just can be a pain in the ass. Anyways, this is a hand that I'm going to keep. I think, let's see, he's going to play first, so we're on the draw. We do have 1,000,000 2-drops. None of them are in this hand, but Guardian of the Gateless is really good if it drops. Death's Approach is going to be a blink for a while, so it's almost like a 6-land hand, or a 6... I mean, it's not really like a 6-card hand, because this will be good at some point, probably. It's not great, but I'm going to keep it. I do have tons and tons of 2-drops that I could draw, and there's one of them. So... that's not bad. I mean, I definitely wouldn't have kept it if I didn't have both my colors. I'm not really trying to draw more land, but it's okay. Now we can play a Guardian of the Gateless, whatever we need to play here. Alright, now would be a great time to stop drawing lands, as I need no more lands, probably for the rest of the game. So, I mean, it's possible 16 lands would have been okay for my deck, but I don't like to run 16, and I do have a few 4 and 5 drops, so maybe 16's fine on like a super aggro 2-drop Boros deck, 2 and 3 drop, but I am running, I think, 4 or 5 drops. I would, I mean, losing is losing, but for some reason I'm much less annoyed at losing by being mana flooded than I am at being mana screwed. So even though I don't really want to draw any more lands for quite some time, I'd be much more frustrated if I was stuck on 2 and just couldn't play anything. At least I have the hope of if I draw something I can play it this way, whereas if you have no land, you're just doing nothing. This looks like something big. So, let's see. Okay, yeah, that's pretty big. So, alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and play the Syndicate Enforcer, and if he wants to trade, I will happily trade my 3-2 for his 6-2. If he double evolves it, I'm gonna be in trouble. Gonna be in trouble. But he'd have to double evolve it for the power to get around my guy, unless he's got some sort of combat trick, which is definitely a possibility. He's definitely got 6 mana, he could definitely play 2 guys. Both of them have to be defensive, bigger than 2 though. One has to be bigger than 2, one has to be bigger than 3, so... Alright, well, there's one of them. Alright, I mean, he could have attacked and saved this guy for Blood Rush, because I'm going to block there. Well, that is a sweet draw. with that being said, I have options, and I think I'm just going to drop the Guardian of the Gateless and try to just get in there. I mean, maybe not though. He's probably going to play a guy next turn that makes this guy an 8-4, and I don't know that I want to be on the whooping end of an 8-4. The problem, of course, is if I play the Guardian of the Gateless, or I do nothing, and if he doesn't attack, I just do nothing. If he does attack, though, I'm going to take 8. That doesn't seem good. In fact, I'm going to wait, and if I had really thought that out better beforehand, what I would have done was played the Guildgate rather than play the Plains. I was planning on playing the Guardian, but then realized that he must be waiting to evolve this. And what I want to do is not get blown out here. I'm going to block. I'm going to smite. Almost certainly, depending on what happens here. Alright, well, that's an interesting choice. I mean, it's not a bad choice by any means, because I'm going to block the Snapjaw. Oh, interesting. That was not really what I was thinking. Alright, so I mean my options are block and smite. Take 2, let him draw a card. Both seem bad. Clearly he doesn't have a way to evolve this guy at the moment. And I guess if I had to, I could trade here, although I'm not wanting to do that. I mean, I guess the problem is that if I don't block here, he draws a card, and then I'm still going to be stuck trying to block with my Guardian. Alright, I mean, that's not what I want to do, but that's what we're going to do. We are going to double extort it, so that's something. I think it's just important not to give him that card advantage. He doesn't have a way to evolve this guy yet, which right now means he's got to keep him back because of the Syndicate Enforcer. I would happily trade. Okay. So here I can play the Denizen and tap his guy down, but it doesn't seem great. I'm gonna go ahead and just swing with the Screecher. Play the Guildgate. Play the Guardian. And if he's got some sort of counterspell or something, then so be it. But I could have played the Plains and extorted the Guardian, but at this point I wanted just to get my Guildgate out there, have the extra black source, and then be able to just extort away. He's flooding out a bit. Interesting. So he very well might have drawn some sort of Blood Rush card. But I don't want to take the 7 here, so I'm going to offer a trade, and if he's got a Blood Rush to keep his guy alive, so be it. I mean, I could play Merfolk of the Depths or something, I guess. Nope, he's just offering a trade. That's fine by me. You're something big. Real big. Ooh, that is real big. Good lord. Alright, so we saw that earlier. I think it's the first time I've ever seen that actually just played. Just straight out played. I mean, swinging for 4, it's on a 4-turn clock. I'm on a 3-turn clock. I mean, I can double extort. Well, I guess I can't double extort. I could single extort everything I play. I'm not going to block, so I mean, I can make his guy 7/7 with my Death's Approach. That might be worth doing. Just that puts me on a 4-turn clock instead of a 3-turn clock, and at that pace, I might actually win. At this point, I'm going to hold off on the Death's Approach. I'm definitely getting in there for 4. He is on a, like I said, he is on a 4-turn clock. I'm going to play the Denizen and extort it. If he plays a guy with 2 power or less, I can Death's Approach it, which might be better than just giving myself an extra turn. And if I need to give myself an extra turn, I can do that later. Plus, with my extorting, you know, it might work. If he doesn't have a ground guy to block, I get in for 6, putting him at 5. So I'm definitely taking it. I mean, that guy is definitely a beating. I guess that does put me on almost a 2-turn clock anyway. Alright, well that's not great. In fact, that's well, that's I would say that's one of the worst things for me, but another land is the worst thing for me, probably. Really, any creature, any spell. Give me any spell. Interesting decision I have. I'm gonna play land. I'm definitely gonna keep this guy back. I mean, if I play my Death's Approach on this guy, it does buy me a turn because of the extort, but he does. I mean, this guy's going to be an issue also. I mean, I can't attack with this guy, clearly. I think I have to attack with these guys. I mean, this guy's going to take over the game. I mean, sure, I could draw a Grizzly Spectacle or something, which would be the nuts, but not necessarily. And right now, I think this is what I have to do. He's still on a 3-turn clock. I'm going to have to draw something. I'm sure he feels the same way. I mean, a Death's Approach puts him at 6, which doesn't... I mean, maybe I'd be better off if I wait a turn. 4, 5. If I draw another Extort guy 6, no, that's not going to do it either. I'm not really sure if the best play is to play the Death's Approach on this guy. I mean, he can't really attack with this guy, because if he attacks with this guy, I just swing in and win, probably. If I don't play the Death's Approach, he swings in for 9 and puts me at 5? That doesn't seem good. So this is what I'm going to do. I definitely don't love this play by any stretch, but I think it buys me a turn, and if he doesn't come up with an answer for these guys, I win in 2 turns, and I can survive 2 turns, barely, probably. But if he draws like a Croconura, then the plan is going to have to change. Okay, I'm going to take the 7 here. As expected, he kept this guy back. Hopefully he doesn't play anything here. Alright. So I've got to attack. I mean, I guess I should just attack probably with, let me see. If I swing for 4, then I play an extort guy. Then I block 2 guys, or I 3. Really the question is, if he comes up with an answer for one of my flyers, and I swing for 4, then I play this, it puts him at 1, which means any spell wins me the game. Whereas if I don't swing with both, I just swing with this guy, for example, then that puts him at 2, which means if he has an answer, yeah, I think, okay, if I swing with both guys, I leave this guy black. This guy gets through for 1, that's fine, I'm not worried about him. I can block here and take 7, but I'm going to be at 9. I think that's just what I'm going to do, but let me go ahead and swing first, in case he does have, there is an Etherize out there, and if it's out there, then it's out there. Okay. So, playing the Slate Street Ruffian, can only extort him 1 time. And if he doesn't have an answer, I mean, if he doesn't have a trick anyway, I mean, if he has a trick for this guy, we're probably in trouble. This guy's going to get through for 1. Going to have to chump block this guy to make sure there's no Blood Rush shenanigans. I've only seen a Scab Clan Charger. Let's see what's coming here. Oh my gosh. Well, that's about as big of a bomb as you could ask for. The hope is that in those 8 cards, he didn't draw an answer. I mean, he has to have drawn a Croconura in there, which is probably what he plays, or he just has a way to win. I mean, this guy is just nuts. So he's got 2 big old guys, which means probably have to win this turn, or don't win at all. Win this turn, or don't win at all. That's an interesting attack. Let's see. I'm gonna cheat a little bit here. I don't think there's, or first of all, there's no blue Blood Rushers. Green, is there anything that can give him, I mean, he's got, I guess, alright, I guess, really, he could, in those 9 cards, he's got 4 mana, like 2 guys to give his guy +6. Let's see, if he had 2 Slaughter Horns to give his guy +6, it'd be 13, which means 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. I mean, he'd kill me anyway. So, regardless, I'm blocking with both guys. I think that's the worst way for me to lose, is to like some sort of double Blood Rush there. Alright, so have to draw a non-land card. Yep, have to draw a non-land card. Non-land card or bust. Any spell for the win. Any spell for the win. No whammy, big money. Booyah. So that should do it. So that was a very close one. Just had to draw any non-land. And there you have it. Alright, so first 8-4 recording I've done here. Like I said before, in my Swiss draft, my plan is to decide I'm recording and just go ahead and record. If I don't draw anything exciting, then it might be a boring draft. But what I'm trying to show is what a normal draft would be like. Obviously, if you open sick bombs like Zagana or... got cut off there. What I was saying was, you know, it seems like some of the drafts I've watched from other people, because I like watching drafts on YouTube or Channel Fireball just like anybody else, Draft Magic, whatever. Seems like sometimes all the drafts you see just have sick mythics, you know, like maybe they just show the ones that are very exciting, which that's fine. I mean, it's probably interesting to watch people open sick bombs, but if you're like me, you don't usually open sick bombs. So I'd like to see people draft when their drafts go a little bit clumsily like mine did this time, and, you know, see what people think and how they value cards and when they think they should switch guilds and what color considerations they're taking, as opposed to just decks that are just sick and strong. So that's what I'm going to do in my drafts, is just go for it and see what happens. So I will see you in round 3.